the rift between Muslims and Christians in Nigeria will never end. See reasons below. The modern Nigeria we have today emerged through merging of two British colonial terrorists in 1914. The amalgamation was an act of colonial convenience. This amalgamation made little sense and has often been said by Nigerians to be the foundation of the rancorous relationship between the two regions of Nigeria. Northern Nigeria now broke into several states and three geopolitical blocs in largely Muslims. It was the center of the pre-colonial Islamic empire called the Sokoto Caliphate, and its Muslim populations, especially those whose ancestors had been part of the Caliphate, generally took to the Middle East and the wider Muslim. For solidarity and social political example, the South, a very ethnically diverse region containing many states and three geopolitical units, is largely Christians. The major socio-political influences there are Western and traditional Africa. These differences have been a source of political disagreement and suspicion between the two major regions right from colonial times. To add to this quadron, each of the two regions contain ethnic and religious minorities who uphold grievances and malice against ethnic and religious majorities they see as enigmatic. These grievances are sometimes expressed through bitter political complaints, through sectarian crisis by political elites and incendiary media rhetoric, and through violent insurgents. Historically, it was the content and the constant with the Western and Arabic words that gave birth to Islam and Christianity in Nigeria, although Christianity had been in Africa as early as the 4th century and had great centers in earlier times in ancient places like Egypt, Ethiopia, Sudan, Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, and so on and so forth. Nigeria had a taste of Christianity during the Portuguese mission entertain and enterprise in the 16th century. This was strengthened during the 19th century ministry enterprise of the Evangelical Society from Europe and America. On the other hand, Islam came to Nigeria on the 11th century and was firmly established in Kano, Borno Empire. It should be noted that Christianity has significantly recorded a higher rate of conversion, development, and expansion over the years than Islam because it is connection with Western civilization. This first growing rate of Christianity led to much rivalry, intolerance, and persecution from the Muslims, especially in the north part of the country. However, there is cooperation between Christians and Muslims in the southern parts of the country. Religious, as we know, it is powerful, motivating, and belligerent force, and humans fight over it. Now with that out of the way, I will be sharing my reasons why I really think that ongoing rivalry between the two major religions in Nigeria, that is the Christians and the Muslims, will never stop. 1. Religious misconception. One factor I believe is responsibility for conflicts between Christians and Muslims in prevalence of religious misconception among this religious group. Religious misconception in tantamount to holding a religious idea which is wrong or untrue, but which people believe because they do not understand it properly the way they should. There are evidence of how Christians hold wrong conception about Islamic and vice versa. For instance, the Muslims, the conception of the Trinity God, the Father, Son, and of the Holy Spirit, which means that Christians are serving three gods, whereas the Christians believe about Trinity in one God that manifested himself in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. 2. The drive for membership. The second is the drive for membership. Both religious groups always embark on various activities that are measured and aimed at winning souls. This often led to bigotry and physical combat between Christians and Muslims. It should be known that each of the two religions use various strategies to win converts. For instance, Christian missionary introduced Western education, while the introduction and the Islamic missionaries introduced Islamic education as an instrument of Christianity. They want to Islamize Nigeria, which God will not buy such idea, and they will never succeed. In states in northern Nigeria where Sharia law is practiced, Christians cannot have any possession or outdoor meeting of any kind. Politically, no person in other regions apart from Islam can be in any position of leadership at any level. Islamic use political powers to subjugate, punish, and to marginalize all people of other faiths. They also use funds from government treasury to finance Islamic projects and activities. Legally, under Sharia law, a single Muslim's witness equal to 3 Christian witnesses. Christians under Sharia are considered as second-class citizens. Persecution and open attack on Christians. These have become more frequent since the implementations of Sharia law in the northern Nigeria in 1999. 4. Economic factors. The economic factors as a cause of religious violence in Nigeria, in spite of the fact that the country is blessed with both human and natural resources. The gap between the haves and the have is ever on the increase, and this has led to frustration and dissolution among average Nigerians on the lower side of the economy. 5. Half-baked knowledge of true teaching. There is ignorance or half knowledge of the true teaching of the very religion that the people involved claimed to be defending. For example, if Mantassin had been well informed enough in Islamic teachings, he would have realized that at no time did the Prophet or his companion attack anybody who has declared himself as Muslims. So viewers, what is your take on this news? Your comment is very much needed. Drop them below the comment box. Click on the subscription button as well as the bell button to receive notifications whenever I publish new videos.